Hey everybody, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie and we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to do our mindset, morning mindset. We're going to finish going through this book. We're going to talk about mentors. That's kind of the chapter in the book we're going through. We're going to talk about habit stacking, and I'm going to shake up my ketones as you are all hopping on to chat. So I hope you're having an incredible morning. I'm tuning in from Florida and we got up super early. If you check my stories, you can go see the sunrise over the ocean. It was beautiful. So we got everybody up in the house, everybody that's staying with us, all of our kids got up. We were ready to leave. I think we left at like 6:15. Out the door, down to the beach to watch the sunrise. It was beautiful. And now the kids are just swimming in the pool. And we're just hanging out. So we just got back and it is actually beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a little windy, but some of you are dealing with a snowstorm. If you are in the middle of the United States, I think who's getting hit with snow? So I'm from Minnesota. If you're brand new, I usually tune in from Minnesota, we say. We're in Florida for a few more days, and then I will go back to Minnesota. So where are you tuning in from? And I would love to know. I'm trying to read. It's so bright. Can't really read. So I would love to know who's going through the book. If you're going through the book, we're going to talk about mentors today. We're also going to talk about habit stacking and what that means. My husband it's in lots of books, but like, how do I just get started with better habits? How do I just get started on a focused path? Oftentimes I think we go, oh my goodness, like if I want to be better, if I want my life to be better, if I want to lead by example, there's so many things that I want to do. Where do I get started? So that's what we're going to talk about. We are going to start with the book because I think it segues into the conversation of habit stacking very easily. And so if you have been following along, we're going to do all of chapter 13 right now. I'm not going to read a ton of it to you, but I'm going to give you the basic idea. And the basic idea, as I turn to my page... Good morning. Good morning. Yes, there's so many of you that are snowed in. I'm so sorry. So sorry. But in all reality, you know what's interesting? Side note. We're in Florida right now, and we used to live down here. We've lived in many different places. And we were looking around and I said, perspective, my friends, because the snow isn't bad. It actually is quite beautiful. The cold isn't bad because it actually kills things so they don't become overpopulated. And so I said, in Florida, you still have crazy weather in the summers. You deal with hurricanes. There's lots of bugs. Like wherever you go, you can see positive things that you love and you can go, ooh, I would totally leave that, right? Like Minnesota. I actually love Minnesota. I love living up north. I love that I can jump in a lake and not worry about an alligator. I love that we just deal with snow and mosquitoes. I don't love the negative degrees, but as soon as it's like 15 degrees or above, it's fine. And so perspective, right? You're snowed in. You get to spend some peaceful time at home, maybe start a fire or read a book or just have like a down day. Perspective, right? So number one, if your goal is to start habit stacking, if your goal is to like, okay, I need to get better in so many different areas of my life. Health, I need to eat better. I need to make better choices, but where do I start and what do I do? And so I love that this chapter starts, it says the law of modeling. You need to find people that you want to, I don't want to say like be like as a person, but like who's already done what you want to accomplish, right? So for right now, a lot of you are like on a keto lifestyle, a low carb lifestyle. Your goal is to get healthy. You're finding people to watch and to learn from so that you can move forward, right? You take what you learn and you put it into play. He says, your personal growth I'm learning how to, so in the beginning, this is what I want you to do, and we're doing it right now. When you're just starting and you're like, I need so many things that I need to fix, relationships and my life and my finances and all of the things, he said, one of the first things you really should do is you're going to find a mentor, but a mentor can be in a book form, a podcast. He says you need to be super picky and choosy with the books that you read, the lessons that you learn, the people that you watch, the conferences you attend. So if you're trying to do this all by yourself, well, you're not because you are here, but think of how many people are trying to do it all by themselves. Even just tuning into somebody's live, it doesn't even have to be mine, but somebody who's already gone before you. And if you can get out of your comfort zone and ask a simple question, you will learn from people who've already done it, and you will go further faster. It's the power of, it's just wisdom. It's it's finding people that you're like, I would love to learn from that person. Please teach me. My husband does this all the time. We will be out in public, and an older couple will be like, oh, we had 4 girls, or we had some daughters. And every time my husband has somebody that questions us about our kids or homeschooling, we just had somebody ask us today, he will say, give me your best tip to raising girls. Tell me one thing that I need to know about how to raise my daughters better. Ask people, whatever you're dealing with in your life, somebody that's already gone before you. You either ask somebody in person, you'll find there's so many podcasts out there, things are free, education is free, be picky and be choosy, right? He's going to talk about that in a second. Or books. Like, there's incredible parenting books, incredible marriage books, incredible health books, right? To help you in any area of your life. So he says this, resources have little value. This is important. Resources have little value unless you can pull from them the essentials that you are needed. He talks about taking notes, writing down your points, and then here's the kicker. You're going to learn from any person that you've chosen to learn from, and then you're going to take action on that. You can come out. You want to come out? Oh, we're just talking about mentors, and we're talking about taking action, and then I'm going to talk about habit stacking. You want to sit by me? Come on over. I think most people are in the pool. All right.
We just found a massive iguana.
Really? Did you take a picture?
It's in the tree right now.
Did you take a picture?
It's like this long.
Ever. Okay, I will post a picture of it later. We also had to dodge some, what are those stingy things on the beach yesterday? Jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
You had to watch where you run. Oh, I can hear the kids screaming. All right. I'm just kind of going through the power of mentorship and then taking action of what they're learning. But then I also wanted to dive into, so I said, if somebody wants to habit stack, like how do you just start, right? So one of the biggest things you start with, can you guys hear my kids screaming? It's because there's an animal in the tree.
It's an iguana.
It's an iguana. Can you hear them? Okay, we're going to keep moving forward. Most people who decide to grow personally find their first mentors in pages of books. You are all here to learn and grow. Honey, I need to see your face. Get your face in here. Do we go this way? Oh, this way. Come this way. Okay.
We'll go like this.
All right. So I'm not going to read all of the stories. There was one story that I really wanted to read. So mentors are worthy examples. Mentors are available, whether it's a book or like a personal mentor. We had great mentors growing up. Mentors are, I really wanted to read a story. Hold on. He says, I don't know of a successful person who hasn't learned from more experienced people. Sometimes they follow you in your footsteps. Other times they use their advice to help them from breaking new ground. All leaders are influenced by who they admire. You need to find people that you want to follow, but it's looking at their character. We talked about this in the group of people that we have here today. So he talks about you can follow people, but you need to look at their character and watch their actions, not just what they're saying.
That's good.
Do you have anything you want to say so far? Because I'm really trying to find the story that I wanted to read. I kind of went through this chapter fast.
I would say this. Often people define success as certain characteristics or statuses, or I'm only successful if I make X amount of money.
Yeah.
Or if I do
look a
X,
certain
Y,
way.
and Z. So it's usually like around status, rank, recognition, what people often think.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I would encourage you to look at your character. Your character is what matters the most.
100%. I'm actually not going to read the story.
Well, here's the other thing, like with mentors, I think this is really important. She did say it. It didn't really touch on it too much, but your best mentors, it doesn't have to be somebody that you sit down with. It could be people who you look up to, people who you respect.
You have mentors like that.
And they can come in the form of books, in the form of podcasts, in the form of Zooms and lives, mastermind groups, things like that. So just don't pinhole yourself to just like, oh, the only way that I can actually have a mentor is if I can sit down and have coffee with them.
Right.
If you can physically meet with somebody in person, I think that's amazing. That's a tremendous blessing.
Right.
And if you can't, there's just so many great people that you can learn from. But I would also say use your discernment in learning from them.
Right.
And also, just like anything, I would say take it, internalize it, and And you don't have to take all of their advice.
Right.
You can take the advice that is applicable to you in that season. And so often, like, sometimes this is a little bit out there, but sometimes we'll hear something from like a prophet will give us something like wisdom, share something with us. And what we do is we just kind of put a pin in it, we put it on the bookshelf, and we just kind of think through it, and we pull it back out when it applies to us in that time.
I actually said yesterday, I was talking to one of the girls here that's staying with us, and I said, oh, I was giving her an example, and I was like, my pastor said, and then I said, oh, well, I mean, I've actually never met him, but I love listening to his podcast, so I consider him one of my pastors. But like that, there's certain people that we listen to that I love to listen to, and I would consider, I'm sure they would know me if I met them. They would be like, you listen to me all the time. Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, you do.
It kind of explains what a coach or a mentor could be. It takes the coach word and kind of breaks it down. It's an acronym. So you want to find somebody that cares for the people they coach. Observe their attitude, behavior, and performance. You're going to watch them too, because if they're not doing what they say, it's no different than parenting, right? I hate it when parents say, just do it because I said so. Or don't, or have you ever, I should say this, maybe that'll offend you. Oh, don't do as I do as I say. Have you ever heard people say that?
Yeah, it's a terrible thing to say. The kids, I don't care what you say, your children are watching everything that you do. And your children are a direct reflection of how you behave.
Well,
so don't just say the words. Your action is what really matters.
Right. And the mentors and the people that are coaching you. Like, you need to watch their character. You need to watch what they're doing. Are they doing what they're telling you to do? Are they aligned? Align them with their strengths for peak performance.
Peak performance.
Communicate and give feedback to you with their performance and helps them improve their lives and performance. You just need a coach that's going to give you feedback. Well, sometimes it's hard.
Then you have to say, are you open to feedback?
Yes.
The best feedback I get is from this amazing lady right here.
I don't always give him
And
feedback.
then she typically says, I'm not going to give you any more feedback because you don't listen.
Because he doesn't listen.
And the reality is, I really do listen. And this is what I had to explain to her. I said, sometimes the coaching can be harsh, and you realize that you do actually need to make some improvements.
Yeah.
You need to make some changes. And it's kind of like, I told her this, I said, I need it. I need it and I want it. If you can't handle my nonverbal communication of me, I don't physically yell or say anything. How many of you love to get coached? But my nostrils flare. Supposedly I get really angry because my nonverbal looks. He'll look at me a certain way,
like he wants coaching. How many of you have ever asked for coaching, but then you realize, like, oh, I don't really want that.
I do. So honestly,
and then I'll be like, don't look at me that way.
Feedback.
Don't look at me that way. I'm not talking.
But I have to process it. So I told her, sometimes you have to process that feedback, that coaching that you got. And then for me, I love it. I have to figure out, how can I apply it?
Yes.
Because for me, you have to apply it. You have to apply it. So we kind of talked about reverse engineering yesterday, and it can sound like this scary thing, but the reality is, if it's a goal, if it's a dream, if it's a vision, you have to put a strategy behind it. If you don't have the strategy, if you don't, like habit stacking, for example, if you don't put that stuff into play, it never really ever gets accomplished.
Right.
So you have to apply the feedback. And so I love the feedback I get from Stephanie. I just need a moment to process it. I need a moment to put it into a strategy so that I can apply it.
Yes. I love that. Okay, so if we take a little pivot and we talk about, we all know, if you've been tuning in any of these morning lives, you know the power of your mindset. I believe that if your goal is to get better in any area of your life, you want to do something called habit stacking. You can't just dive in and be the best at everything, right?
Well, you can.
No, I can't. I really can't. I'm not perfect.
Close to.
I'm not.
Close.
So I wrote down a couple of things. Like, if your goal is to just be better in all areas of your life, you're going to own your morning. You're going to get up with the first alarm clock. I'm not great at this.
We're getting better.
We're getting better. This morning I did, because we were going to watch the sunrise, right? You're going to value your time.
So think about that, though. Why did you get up today?
Because I had a focus. We were going to see the beach.
You had a strong enough why
to get out of bed.
Strong enough compelling reason to get her out of bed.
I always like to get out of bed because I want to talk to all of you. But so, for example, let's say, hey, what if I said to you, I want you to get up every single morning. I want you to read a book. I want you to tune into the live. I want you to work on your mindset. I want you to say what you're thankful for. I want you to journal. I want you to get your workout in. I want you to drink your ketones. I want you to drink your water. I want you to do all of the things, right?
all the things.
Sometimes that seems overwhelming. So what habit stacking means is you pick one thing at a time and you get really good at that, and then you add something else until you create a stack of habits. So if your goal is, I'm just going to get up 30 minutes early and I'm going to read 1 page of a book, let's start there.
So what I hear you saying is it's an accumulation of a lot of little things.
Yes.
Instead of just one gigantic, massive shift or change of one thing.
Over time. That's what the book that we're going to talk about, The Miracle Morning, we're going to dive into that, because really that's what he does, is he gives you a stack of habits.
Yep.
You can start with 6 minutes and going into 60 minutes, but it's doing those little things consistently every single day. You can make them longer as you go. You can add more things as you get comfortable with smaller amount of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tabitha brought up a good point. She says, I've tried to start lots of little habits all at once.
Yes.
Right? So
I am going to shake up my ketones.
But typically what happens is if you take on
some.
too much too quickly, it's like a muscle. You have to work into it over time. And so the power of habit stacking is it's starting with a little thing.
Right.
And it's like, imagine if you could stack BBs. It's kind of like that. But it's taking one small thing at a time.
For sure.
So
a really easy habit is to drink ketones.
So great. So how would someone drink ketones?
I told him I was going to shake up my ketones today. So we've talked about mindset. We talked about, we're almost done with the book. We will dive into The Miracle Morning probably here in the next couple of days as we wrap this book up, which is taking forever. It's a great book, but I'm ready to start the other one.
As you can tell, Stephanie likes change.
I do. I actually don't like to sit on something for very long. I can actually read a book in like 3 hours, a whole book. Even less than that.
Superpower. What is your superpower? Stephanie can speed read, but I'm curious, what is your superpower?
If you're like, oh, I don't know, what would a superpower that you would like to have? That would be a fun question. Our kids were talking about this earlier. One wanted to fly. I told my sister I'd like to be able to read people's minds. I think that would be so cool. Because then I could know what people are thinking and I could encourage them. I wasn't thinking about like bad things. I don't care if somebody would say something mean to me in their head. I'd be like, I reject that. That is not nice.
It's fun because people are putting their flavors, or what kind of ketones you like, because they're talking about how they mix them. So we're here with a group of ladies and they do this crazy stuff every morning. They call it mixology, where they'll take ketones and mix it with other flavors and add this and add that, and then they got like this crazy combination. Who would have known that you could do that?
So
we're pretty
a creature of one packet flavor. I don't really mix them. A lot of people do. But I am shaking up my mom fuel. I shake it up every single day. He can call it his dad fuel. But it's ketones. You drink it, it puts you in ketosis. So like, if we're just talking about the keto diet, we can get away from the mindset, what I think is so important. And there is really just simple things to teach you about eating better and fueling your body. Your body can make ketones and you can drink them. I've been drinking them for 6.5 years. My incredible husband, 7 years ago, well, actually he had been doing the keto diet like 9 years ago. I helped him fail for 2 years, right? Because I was not supportive. And he found this online one day, a little packet. And he said, if this works, it's going to help thousands of people. And I said, if it tastes nasty, I'm not going to drink it. Right?
I remember.
Don't you dare tell me to share it with anybody. That's what I said.
I didn't say she had to.
I took the packet and I was like, I'm not talking to anybody. I refuse to share it with anybody. I will drink it because you're my husband and I probably won't drink it again. And I came home from a homeschool conference and I was like, you better never run out of these things because I feel incredible.
And at the homeschool conference, what'd you do?
I started sharing it with all the moms because I was like, I don't know what this is. I don't know what ketones are, but I don't need a nap. I feel great. Y'all should drink them. That's all I said.
And then the next day, what'd you do? Oh, actually, that night you went to bed, had a dream.
Oh, yes! I went to bed. I had the ketones. I went to bed. I had a dream. I woke up and I said, I had a dream that I'm supposed to start a Keto Mom Facebook page. That's where this started. I said, I have no idea how to do that. I don't know how to start pages. My husband is the techie person. I just like to talk. And I was like, can you just start it for me? He's like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, if I'm going to join you on this journey, I should probably tell other parents about it because they're probably going to want to do it too. So I'll just make videos.
Tell our story.
That's where it started. We started telling our story and sharing recipes, and we don't mess up good for perfect. And we did not start with everything being perfect keto. We just started learning as we went and pretty much ate the same meal for 6 months because I didn't know how to even open an avocado. Or even, I didn't know how to grocery shop. Everything we bought was in a can, right? Or a box.
It's been a really fun journey.
I was joking with the ladies here today. I said, I really grew up on fast food and TV dinners.
I can't believe it's not butter.
We were just talking about margarine. Anybody else grew up on margarine? Because back then it was cool, right? And then I said the vegetables, our garden was called a canned garden. Everything came out of a can. Cream corn, anybody? Did you eat cream corn?
I did.
All the time. All the time. And boxed potatoes. The powdered.
It's true. Isn't it crazy where if you think of where you came from, think about where you came from. It doesn't mean you have to replicate that. Like
right.
You have the ability to pivot, to reinvent yourself, to create your future.
Right.
You have the ability to do that.
The first time I went to the grocery store, I went in with I had my ketones. So like, this is what kept me through learning how to eat better. I had the energy, the focus, the appetite control. I felt great, even though I wasn't eating really great. And then from there, I learned. I remember I packed up all 4 of our girls. I was like, Steve was at work. I'm going to be an incredible wife. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy vegetables, and I'm going to learn how to do this. And I remember our girls were little. I had 2 in the cart, probably 1 on my hip and 1 holding onto the cart. I walked into the grocery store, and I was like, I don't even know what to buy. I don't even know how to buy a pepper. I don't even know how to cut open a pepper. And so I remember I walked around the grocery store. I was super overwhelmed. I honestly started crying and I went home. And I was like, I don't know how to cook anything. I don't even eat anything green. I hate it. Right?
It's true.
And then I made him hamburger with broccoli and cauliflower and sprinkled cheese and butter on it for like 6 months for his dinner. That's all I made. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as I grew up, I learned how to eat a piece of celery because I actually didn't like that. I still don't really love them. I like them smothered in butter. Or I liked broccoli and cauliflower. I learned that I hated Brussels sprouts. I did like asparagus. So we just started implementing one thing at a time. I was like, all right, what are these avocados? And why do we eat them? They're mushy. But we liked them after we ate them.
But over time you learn more.
Yes.
So you gain knowledge.
Yeah.
But enthusiasm is what flipped the switch.
I learned from other people. I found some random like keto things online. I was trying to figure out I just Googled it.
It's kind of like habit stacking.
Right. One thing at a time.
For lifestyle.
That's what we did. We implemented like just breakfast and then lunch while my husband was eating the same dinner for 6 months. And then I was like, all right, when the Goldfish crackers are out, I'm not going to buy them. When the cereal boxes are gone, I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to try something new. Right. I'm going to drink more water and I'm going to give up my strawberry pop. Ugh. I stopped buying the pop or the orange juice or the Debbie snacks. I've told you guys this. We're not friends anymore. I had to just
break up with
sever it. Yes. And so that is habit stacking. It took us a full year of really truly feeling like, oh, we got this, right? Like a true understanding. All while I drank ketones. This is what got me through. It's a tool.
So good.
Right?
It is.
So that's what I'm drinking. If you've never tried them, we have incredible trials. We've got so many different ways that you can hop on and just try the product. You can join some different challenges. And I don't just send you 5 packets. I don't just give you these ketones and leave you by yourself. Like, I'm going to coach you, work with you, guide you, give you some suggestions, help you with your goals. So if you want to know more about ketones, my mom fuel, post trial in the comments so that we can chat. But anything else, like your journey, anything that you've learned along the way?
I mean, so many things. There's a lot of stuff. I think if anything, today I'm just sitting here surrounded by a bunch of amazing people.
Right.
And I've got an amazing wife. And
right.
My whole thing is I'm just grateful.
You can come out.
I'm grateful and I am thankful. So I think if anything that I've learned is that perspective is everything. I would encourage you to always assume positive intent.
Ooh, you should say that again.
I would say extend grace, assume positive intent.
On everything.
On everything. And just know that sometimes if people aren't treating you the way that you think they should be treating you, maybe they're having a bad day, but maybe that's the moment in your life that you could be an encouragement to somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, even just walking on the beach, it was interesting. There was people we ran into and they were just so filled with joy. And so I would say be that change agent for somebody else today.
Yeah.
That's what I would encourage you to do.
That's so good.
So.
And drink ketones.
Drink ketones. Go to ketomom.com if you want to get them. Go to Keto Mom Secrets if you want to find out more about blogs and recipes and just so much. Honestly, the team of people that have been helping us and Stephanie put together all this stuff.
Right.
Keto Mom Secrets is such a great website. And I would just encourage you, like if you're looking, I've also learned this in the last 2 weeks. People need people. So if you're looking to be a part of a community that's going to encourage you and inspire you to become the best version of yourself, we're going to be doing more events. We're in Florida right now. We're going to be going to Arizona. We're talking about going to North Carolina.
I'm going to Kentucky in March.
We're making some moves. Yes, come join us in Kentucky in March. It's going to be an amazing event.
Yeah.
So if you want to be a part of something like that, if you want Stephanie to lock arms with you, if you want to build a business like with what we're doing, just let us know. Reach out, let us know your goals.
If you just need help with your personal goals, that's what we're here to help. So, all right, we're almost done with this book. Continue to tune in a couple more days, and then we are diving into the Miracle Morning. Otherwise, scroll through the page for all of the recipes, tips, and tricks that you need. You can go look at our stories because we shared some fun things from yesterday. That's it. Oh, and go watch the sunrise. You can go watch the sunrise story. So I hope you guys have an incredible day. Your presence matters. Thank you for tuning in. We love to see your comments below. You can always press the share button. Sharing is caring.
That's good.
And that's it. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.